Can you lose your green card? Today, I'll be giving you three tips on how to keep your green card so you don't lose your investment and your life in the United States of America. Tip number one, don't break the law. I know, that one seems obvious, right? But the easiest way for you to lose your green card is by breaking the law. I think we can all agree, if you kill someone, you're gonna get deported. But what about a traffic violation? Do you know in New Jersey, driving under the influence of alcohol is a traffic violation and not a crime? That's not true for all states. But what about having drugs like marijuana, which again, in the state of New Jersey is legal, and other states, but they are still illegal under federal law. The crime doesn't have to be a major crime for you to become deportable. Let's take another one. Everyone knows domestic violence is serious, right? But what is domestic violence? Did you know that some states texting or calling too often can be harassment, which is also can be considered domestic violence? You have to be careful. Almost anything that is morally wrong, such as fraud, theft, or a crime where you intend to harm someone else, can make you deportable. Some of these crimes can be just misdemeanors, meaning not even punishable by jail time, but they can still make you deportable, like shoplifting. Unfortunately, there is no list that will tell you which crimes do make you deportable and which don't. So if you're ever arrested for anything, do yourself a favor. Get yourself an attorney and make sure that attorney understands criminal law and immigration law, or get two attorneys, one to handle the criminal and one to consult with on the immigration. Another thing, if you got your green card through a sham marriage or any other type of fraud, gotta be careful. That by itself can be a cause for removal. I have clients that had an order of removal in the 90s under one name, and then later on filed for their green card in a different name, and immigration didn't figure it out. Now they know 30 years later. Tip number two, make your home inside the US, in here, not abroad. A lot of people think if they enter the US once or twice a year, that's all they need to keep their green card active. But the truth is, if you leave the US with the intention of making another country your home, you may have a hard time getting back in. A green card is known as a lawful permanent residence card, meaning your home is inside the US. Any trips outside the US are supposed to be temporary in nature. If you are spending more time outside the US than inside the US, you're at risk of losing your green card. You should also consider not staying outside the US more than 180 days in any single trip. Staying more than that can lead a Customs and Border Patrol agent, when you come back at the airport, to conclude you've abandoned your residence. And then that individual could detain you and put you into removal, or could give you the option of abandoning your green card and being put back on a plane back to your other home country. If you're expecting a longer trip outside the United States, you can request a re-entry permit using Form I-130 before leaving the US. For example, you accepted a position to work in Argentina for a year. You must file for this while you're in the United States. So you need to have a plan because they need to fingerprint you before you get permission. If you didn't expect a long stay, but something happened, for example, a sick relative, let's say during COVID, and you stay outside the US for a long period of time, like more than 180 days, you can request for a special re-entry permit at the closest US embassy or consulate. You have to be very careful when you do this. So if you find yourself in a situation like this, make sure to speak to a competent immigration attorney before doing anything. Tip number three, file for US citizenship. You should apply for US citizenship as soon as you possibly can. The waiting time is usually 5 years after you get your green card, but there are exceptions. For example, if you got asylum and you're an asylee, you only have to wait 4 years because your first year in the US counts towards the 5. And it's also only 3 years if you got your green card based on marriage to a US citizen and are still married to the US citizen. Remember, you are responsible for keeping your green card. take good care of your records and file for citizenship at your earliest opportunity. If you do fail and you're at risk of losing your green card, don't panic. You can seek help of an immigration attorney to expertly assist you through the process and look for alternatives to keep your stay in the US. If you found this video informative, please consider liking and sharing it with friends and family who you think are applying for a green card or have it and might lose it. And if you have any ideas for future videos or would like me to talk about a particular immigration-related topic, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, stay healthy and be safe. Hey, did you like the video? I invite you to watch another video where I share more tips on how to protect your reputation as an immigrant. Until next time.